Because I think
left.
there's the truth thing, the kernel of truth inside, each idea that you've kind of talked about. I mean, for instance, if you take an idea like victim blaming, so anyone can imagine a time, this has come from a time where women could be blamed for their own sexual assault.
Mm-hmm.
There were lots
Still
of
today, still today,
and still
India,
is.
Pakistan, South Africa,
yeah. And so you see that's in some ways it's developed as a good idea, victim blaming, but and same thing with cultural appropriation. You can simply see that as cultural theft. So everyone can imagine someone stealing something from another culture, passing it off, providing no, payment. So someone takes some indigenous art, sells it, profits from it.
Physically? I understood.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
You mean like finding a national cultural treasure, going in there, ripping it out, and selling it on the market? Like, okay, because I was confused up until that point. Okay.
Well, and I mean, I can take it back further. I mean, if you take the intellectual property and then you pass it off as your own, there are lots of different ideas. So I'm producing indigenous art, or I'm taking indigenous art from indigenous people and not paying them for that and not recognizing them for that. That's just a form of cultural theft.
That's not what people mean when they use cultural appropriation.
No, that's probably where it started. But if it's not if the idea is not clear, then it creeps.
Or people just problematize things and they're taught to find grievances and everything, and then the next grievances. There's a place here in Portland. I was just reading about it the other day when I was doing some research on something. That some white people had a taco stand, and then people went crazy because they culturally appropriated Mexican food. I mean, that's a fucking derangement.
Yeah. Well, how do you have fusion in culture? How do you have fusion?
How would you have any? Why would you? You literally couldn't exist. There'd be literally nothing. You couldn't speak English because that's an appropriation. You couldn't wear clothes because you've appropriated that from another time. You couldn't cut your hair. You couldn't fill your teeth. There's literally nothing you could do.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even be in a mud hut because mud huts are appropriated.
Yes.
So there'd be literally nothing. You would be dead. The whole society would be extinguished.
But perhaps that's the point.
Well, then there'd be no oppression if everybody was dead. That's for sure.